Hey guys, tonight we're going to walk, well, ride actually, alongside a man whose job was equal parts boredom and terror. You're going to experience a day, a single ordinary day, in the life of a caravan guard on the Silk Road in 1275. My name is Tamir. I'm a Mongol warrior, 32 years old, and I've been hired muscle for merchants crossing the known world for the past 7 years. This particular day finds me somewhere between Samarkand and Kashgar, protecting a caravan of Chinese silk, Persian glass, and enough spices to make a king sneeze. So before we begin, take a moment to like the video and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of immersive history. Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is, and especially if you got connections to the military, long-distance travel, or if your father or grandfather ever told you stories about standing watch in uncomfortable places. Those of you who served, whether it was Korea, Vietnam, or just basic training at Fort Benning, I'd love to hear how this compares to your experience of hurry up and wait punctuated by moments of pure chaos. Now settle in, get comfortable, and let's step back in time together. Close your eyes if you want. You're about to live a day that someone actually lived 750 years ago. I wake up before I want to. That's the thing about sleeping on the ground when you're over 30. Your body starts lodging complaints about every stone, every slope, every position that your 20-year-old self wouldn't have noticed. My lower back has that familiar ache that tells me I've been lying on my left side too long. Again. The sky above is still black, but it's that particular shade of black that means dawn is thinking about arriving in an hour or so. Those of you who pulled guard duty know this hour. The fourth watch. The time when your body is screaming for sleep, but your mind knows you're too close to morning to drift off again. I lie still for a moment, listening. It's instinct now, this habit of cataloging sounds before moving. The horses are quiet, that's good. A camel somewhere grunts and shifts, working on whatever complicated digestive process camels are always working on. I hear Rashid, one of the other guards, coughing quietly at his post on the north side of camp. The man has had that cough since we left Samarkand 3 weeks ago. The thin morning air makes it sound worse than it probably is. Probably. The cold hits when I sit up, and my blanket, a thick felt thing I bought in Bukhara 2 years ago, falls away from my chest. Congratulations, I'm now remembering why I keep this guard job instead of settling down to raise sheep like my mother wants. Oh, right. Because I'm good at not freezing to death in the middle of nowhere while protecting other people's wealth. I pull my Dell, my heavy coat, tighter and reach for my boots. They're stiff with cold. Leather doesn't care about your comfort at this hour. I tug them on with outstanding old habit. Stay low until you're ready to move. I learned that watching deer in the Altai Mountains when I was a boy. You don't announce yourself until you mean it. My saber is where I left it, tucked under the edge of my bedroll where my hand could find it without thinking. The composite bow is in its case, and the case is tied to my saddle, and the saddle is being used as a pillow by my horse, who is smarter than most people I know. The camp is arranged in its usual formation, merchant tents in the center, yurts of the wealthier travelers forming a middle ring, guards and servants sleeping in the outer positions. It's not a fortress, but it's defensible enough if we need it to be. The caravan master, a Persian named Ibrahim who's been running this route since before I was born, doesn't take chances. Good. Men who take chances on the Silk Road tend to get robbed, or killed, or both, in that order if they're unlucky. I stand slowly, joints protesting. 32 years old, and I sound like I'm 60 when I get up in the morning. My father made it to 48 before a fever took him, and he complained about his knees the entire last decade. I'm right on schedule. Those of you who remember basic training in your 20s and then tried doing the same exercises in your 40s know exactly what I'm talking about. Your mind writes checks. Your body starts questioning. I make my way to the edge of camp where Rashid is supposed to be keeping watch. I find him sitting on a supply box, spear across his knees, staring at nothing in particular. He's maybe 25, from somewhere near Tabriz, and he's been guarding caravans for 3 years. Not long enough to be lazy. Not long enough to really know what he's looking at when he looks at darkness. But he's alert enough. He nods when I approach. Anything? I ask. My voice comes out rougher than I expect. First words of the day always do. 2 foxes. An hour ago. Nothing since. He pauses, coughs into his fist. Quiet night. Quiet is good. Quiet is what we're paid for, actually. The merchant thinks he's paying us to fight bandits, but what he's really paying for is the bandits seeing us and deciding to wait for easier prey. I've been guarding caravans for 7 years, and I've actually drawn my saber in anger maybe 4 times. The rest is this: standing watch, looking dangerous, being present. It's like those boys back home who guard the grain stores. 99 nights of boredom, 1 night of rats. But you can't skip the 99 just because they're boring. Get some sleep, I tell Rashid. I've got the last watch. He doesn't argue. Young guards never do when you offer them sleep. He hands me the spear. Not that I need it. I've got my saber and 2 knives, but tradition matters, and shuffles off toward his bedroll. I watch him go, then turn my attention outward. The desert at pre-dawn is a study in shadows and suggestions. The mountains to the north are black shapes against a sky that's just beginning to remember what blue looks like. To the south, the trade road we've been following is a slightly lighter ribbon of packed earth winding between dunes. Nothing moves except the wind, which is always moving out here. It carries the smell of dust and distance, with just a hint of sage from somewhere I can't see. This is the part of guard duty that the young ones can't handle. The standing still, the waiting, the watching nothing happen and staying alert anyway. But if you've ever pulled watch, you know, it's not about seeing something happen. It's about being ready if something happens. Different mindset entirely. My breath makes little clouds. The temperature will climb soon enough. Desert doesn't believe in moderation. But right now, it's cold enough that I'm glad for my thick coat. I'm glad for the felt trousers. I'm especially glad for the lambskin hat with the ear flaps that makes me look slightly ridiculous, but keeps my ears from freezing off. Vanity is for men who don't know what frostbite feels like. I think about my horse, whose name is Moon because he's gray, and because naming horses after celestial bodies is apparently what drunk Mongols do. He's a good animal. 15 hands, solid temperament, fast enough when you need fast, but smart enough to save his energy when you don't. I've had him for 4 years, which in guard work is basically a marriage. He knows my weight, my moods, my tendency to slouch in the saddle on long days. I know his slight limp in the left foreleg that shows up on the 3rd day of hard riding, his hatred of camels, his absolute refusal to cross running water unless you let him think about it first. The sky is definitely thinking about being blue now. Still dark, but that eastern horizon has a gray line that's getting brighter while I watch it. First light. In about 20 minutes, Ibrahim will wake up. He's consistent like a rooster that way, and he'll want to know how the night went. In another hour, we'll be breaking camp. In 2 hours, we'll be moving. This is how it works, day after day. The routine is the point. I hear stirring from the merchant tents. Someone coughs. A pot clanks. A woman's voice says something sharp in Persian that I don't quite catch. The camel drivers will be next. They always are. Camels need checking in the morning, need feeding, need loading, need generally tending to, because camels are high-maintenance creatures who evolve specifically to be difficult. I've never met a camel I liked. Moon shares this opinion. Ibrahim emerges from his tent exactly when I expect him to. He's a small man, maybe 50 years old, with a beard that's more gray than black now and eyes that don't miss anything. He built his fortune on not missing things. He sees me at my post, nods once, and makes his way to the cook fire that's already being rebuilt by his servants. No words necessary. The night was quiet. I'm still upright. The camp is intact. Message delivered. The cook fire grows. Someone is making tea. The smell of it reaches me, and my stomach remembers that it exists. I haven't eaten since yesterday evening. Hard bread and dried meat. The glamorous diet of caravan guards everywhere. The tea smells like heaven. It'll taste like heated dirty water with a vague memory of tea leaves. But out here, that's luxury. Luxury. Danim is not quite tea at dawn. The sun breaks the horizon while I'm watching it. One moment the mountains are black cutouts, the next they're purple, then suddenly they're brown and gold and real. The transformation takes maybe 10 minutes, but it feels instantaneous. The desert doesn't do gradual. It does asleep and awake, cold and hot, alive and dead. The in-between states are brief. I feel the temperature shift almost immediately. Not warm yet, but the knife-edge cold starts to dull. Give it another hour and I'll be shedding layers. Give it 3 hours and I'll be wondering why anyone willingly lives in a place where the sun actively tries to kill you. But right now, in this moment, the warmth is welcome. Movement across camp increases. The merchants are checking their goods, making sure nothing was disturbed overnight. The camel drivers are doing whatever mysterious things camel drivers do, checking feet, I think, or teeth, or maybe just arguing with the camels about life choices. 3 of the merchants are spreading prayer rugs toward Mecca. Their morning devotions are quiet, personal. I respect that. Every man needs something larger than himself to believe in, especially out here where the world is very large and you are very small. One of Ibrahim's servants brings me tea. Not the good tea. That's for the merchants, but the guard tea, which is basically hot water that once saw a tea leaf from a distance. I take it with both hands and nod my thanks. The boy is maybe 14, stick-thin, probably an orphan Ibrahim picked up somewhere along the route. Ibrahim does that, collects strays. It's good business actually. Loyal servants are worth more than gold when you're 3 months from the nearest city and someone needs to stand watch over your fortune. The tea is exactly as bad as I expected. I drink it anyway. Warmth is warmth. Quiet night? The boy asks. His Persian has a strange accent I can't place. Maybe Kurdish. Maybe Armenian. Out here, everyone is from somewhere else. The quietest, I tell him. Foxes and stars, nothing worth mentioning. He grins like I've told him something profound and scurries back to his other duties. Young people always think guards have exciting lives. The reality is standing in the cold, wondering if your feet still have feeling while absolutely nothing happens. But you can't tell them that. They have to learn it themselves. I finish the tea and set the bowl on a supply box. My watch is technically over. Rashid's awake now, and 2 other guards, Monka and Chen, are making their rounds. But I don't go back to sleep. Never could sleep after sunrise, even when I was young enough to need it. Something about the light wakes up parts of my brain that won't shut down again. So instead, I make my way to where Moon is hobbled. He sees me coming and makes a sound that's half greeting, half complaint. I know this sound. It means you woke me up. I was comfortable, and you're late with breakfast. Horses are remarkably expressive when you learn to listen. Good morning to you too, I mutter, checking his hobbles. They're secure, but not too tight. I learned the hard way that too tight hobbles mean a lame horse by midday, and a lame horse means you're walking. I'm too old to walk across Central Asia. I remove his hobbles and he immediately shakes himself, a full-body ripple that starts at his nose and ends at his tail. Feels good, doesn't it? I know the feeling. I'm about at the age where my whole body feels hobbled in the morning. I run my hands down his legs, checking for heat or swelling. Nothing. Good. His coat is thick with the approach of winter. It's late autumn now, and we need to reach Kashgar before the real cold sets in. Crossing the mountains in winter is possible, but inadvisable. Very inadvisable. Men who try it sometimes don't arrive. I pull out his breakfast, grain mixed with dried fruit that I bought in Samarkand. It cost more than I wanted to spend, but Moon earned it on the last stretch. We outran a sandstorm 3 days ago. Well, we didn't outrun it exactly. More like we found shelter before it found us. And he didn't panic. A horse that doesn't panic in a sandstorm is worth every copper coin. While Moon eats, I check my equipment. The bow comes out of its case. Composite, made from horn, wood, and sinew. Probably crafted somewhere near Karakoram though. I'd bought it used in Merv. It's been with me for 5 years. I checked the string, still good, no fraying. I checked the curve, even and balanced. A Mongol bow is a work of art, really. We've been making them basically the same way for generations because we figured out the best design a long time ago and saw no reason to change it. When something works, you don't fix it. The arrows are next. I have 24 in my quiver. 12 are broadheads for hunting or people, 12 are target points for practice or warning shots. Each one I check for straight shafts, tight fletching, secure heads. An arrow that fails in flight is worse than no arrow at all. It's a lie. Your hands tell and your target laughs at. My saber is fine. It's always fine. I oil it every 3 days whether it needs it or not. The blade is slightly curved, single-edged, with a crossguard that's seen better days but still functional. The grip is wrapped in leather that I replaced in Bukhara after the original wrapping finally gave up and fell apart. I can draw it fast, which matters, and swing it accurately, which matters more. Those of you who carried weapons in service know this ritual, the equipment check. It's not about finding problems, though you do want to find them if they exist. It's about knowing your gear, knowing its condition, knowing that when the moment comes and you need it, it will be there and it will work. Trust is built in these quiet moments, not in the crisis. The camp is fully awake now. Breakfast is being distributed, flatbread, some kind of yogurt, dried meat for those who can afford it. I make my way to the cook fire and claim my portion, bread and yogurt. The bread is hard enough to require aggressive chewing. The yogurt is sour enough to make my face do things involuntarily. Together, they constitute food in the technical sense. I eat standing up, watching the organized chaos of camp breakdown beginning. Ibrahim is directing traffic, literal traffic, since we have 47 camels, 23 horses, and approximately 60 people who all need to be moving in the same direction soon. The merchants are packing their personal items. The servants are collapsing tents. The camel drivers are beginning the long, argumentative process of loading the camels, who have opinions about everything. A camel near me makes a sound like a drowning donkey being strangled by an angry goose. This is apparently camel for, "I don't want to be loaded." The driver responds with a string of words in a language I don't speak, but whose meaning is universal. The camel sits down aggressively. The driver sighs with his entire body. This negotiation will take a while. Next time you're stuck in traffic or dealing with some bureaucratic nonsense, remember, at least you're not arguing with a camel about whether or not it wants to work today. Perspective. I finish my breakfast and rinse my hands and face in the water basin that's been set up for morning ablutions. The water is ice cold. My face briefly reconsiders its allegiance to my skull. I dry off with a rag that's seen better years and make my way back to my sleeping area to pack my bedroll. Packing is a skill. You might think it's just throwing things in a bag, but you'd be wrong. Everything has a place, and that place is determined by when you'll need it and how much it weighs and how weatherproof it needs to be. Sleeping gear goes on bottom of the saddlebag, wrapped in oiled leather. Spare clothes go in the middle. Food and immediate necessities go on top where I can reach them. Weapons stay on my person or attached to the saddle where I can reach them without thinking. I've been doing this for 7 years. I can pack my entire life in under 10 minutes and have it balanced so Moon doesn't develop a sore back by midday. It's not the skill they write songs about, but it's the skill that keeps you alive and comfortable when the songs have ended and you're still out here. My fellow guards are going through the same routine. Monkey is younger than me, maybe 28, from somewhere in the eastern steppes. He rides a bay gelding he calls Thunder, though the horse's personality is more like persistent drizzle. Chen is older, maybe 40, Chinese, from somewhere near the western border of China, where Mongols and Chinese and everyone else have been mixing for so long that borders are more suggestion than reality. He doesn't talk much. Neither do I. We get along well. Rashid is securing his gear to a roan mare that has the patient expression of a creature that knows her rider is still learning. He's getting better, though. 3 years ago, he would have taken twice as long and done it half as well. He's young, but he learns, which counts for a lot. Men who don't learn end up as stories other guards tell around fires. Remember that fellow who didn't check his cinch? Remember how far he flew when the saddle rolled? By the time the sun is 2 hands above the horizon, we're nearly ready to move. The tents are down. The camels are loaded. Well, most of them are loaded. One is still negotiating terms with its driver. The horses are saddled. Personal gear is secured. Ibrahim is walking the line, checking everything with the eye of a man who's been doing this for 30 years and has seen every way things can go wrong. He stops at my position. "The road ahead?" he asks. "Same as yesterday," I tell him. "Follow the valley north-northwest, keep the mountains on our right, watch for the split at the 3 boulders. We should reach the caravanserai by late afternoon if we keep good pace." He nods. He knows this already. Ibrahim knows this route better than I know my own hands, but he asks anyway. It's ritual. It's confirmation. It's making sure everyone is thinking about the same destination. "The bandits?" he asks, quieter. "Haven't seen sign in 4 days, I say, but that doesn't mean they're not there. This stretch is known. I'll keep Monkey and Chen ranging ahead and behind. If there's trouble, we'll see it before it sees us. Good. He looks at me with those sharp merchant eyes that calculate profit and loss in every interaction. You're cautious. I like cautious. Cautious keeps my silk intact. Cautious keeps my skin intact, I reply. The silk is a happy side effect. He almost smiles. Almost. Ibrahim doesn't waste smiles on people who haven't earned them. We move in 10 minutes, he says, and walks on to check the next section of the caravan. I swing up into Moon's saddle. The leather creaks in a familiar way. Every saddle has its own voice, and this one's been talking to me for 4 years. I settle my weight, adjust my bow case, make sure my saber sits right. Moon shifts beneath me, ready to move. He knows the pattern too. The caravan forms up like a very slow, very grumpy snake. Merchants in the protected middle, guards at front, middle, and rear. Servants scattered throughout to handle problems as they arise. The camel drivers have their own hierarchy. I don't fully understand and don't need to. They'll keep their animals moving, or Ibrahim will know why. I take my position near the front, ranging ahead with Monka. Chen stays with the main body. Rashid covers the rear with 2 other guards, whose names I can never remember because they're new and might not survive the journey. Not trying to be dark, just realistic. Guard work has turnover. Ibrahim raises his hand, an old gesture, probably used by caravan masters since before there were roads to travel on. The hand drops, we move. The first hour is always the hardest, not physically, that comes later, but logistically. Everyone's finding their rhythm. Camels are objecting to their loads. Horses are remembering their herd animals and trying to cluster instead of staying in line. People are discovering they forgot things and having to make do without them. It's controlled chaos, slowly settling into controlled movement. Monkey and I ride perhaps 200 paces ahead of the main caravan, far enough to see trouble before it arrives, close enough to get back fast if needed. The road here, calling it a road, is generous. It's more like a frequently traveled patch of slightly more packed earth, runs through a valley between low ridges. Good terrain for bandits to hide in, bad terrain for caravans to defend in. We watch both ridges carefully. You think they'll hit us? Monkey asks. He's relatively new to this route, only his second crossing, and still thinks every rock might hide 20 men with sharp swords. Eventually, I tell him, question is where? Here, there's too many escape routes for them, and too many hiding spots for us. If I were planning an ambush, I'd wait until we're in the narrow pass tomorrow, where the whole caravan has to bunch up and we can't maneuver. I pause. Of course, bandits know we know this, so they might hit us here specifically because we don't expect it, which they know we've thought about. This is why guard work pays well and makes you paranoid. Monkey considers this. He's smart enough to know when he's being taught something. So what do we watch for? Birds, I say. Birds flush when people move. Look for dust that doesn't match the wind. Listen for sound that's wrong. Metal clinking where there shouldn't be metal. Rock falling where no goat is walking. Watch the horses. They'll smell or hear things before we do. Moon's ears are forward, swiveling like he's listening to multiple conversations at once. Which he is, in a way. The desert is never truly silent. Wind moves things, animals scurry, rocks settle. You learn to hear the normal pattern, and then you notice when the pattern breaks. We ride in silence for a while. The sun climbs, the temperature rises. I'm already starting to feel the heat building. By noon, it'll be genuinely uncomfortable. By mid-afternoon, it'll be questioning my life choices hot. This is late autumn. I can't imagine doing this in summer. Actually, I can imagine it, because I did it 2 years ago on a different route. I didn't enjoy it. Memory is a harsh teacher. I study the ground as we ride. Tracks tell stories if you know how to read them. Horse tracks, camel tracks, human footprints, all of these are recent, all from caravans before us. This is a well-traveled route, which is both good and bad. Good, because the path is clear and we're unlikely to get lost. Bad, because bandits know exactly where to find caravans and exactly when they'll arrive. There are other tracks too. Wild goat, fox, something that might be a wolf or might be a large dog. Hard to tell from prints alone. Ravens have been here. You can see where they've scratched around looking for insects or seeds. Life finds a way even in places that seem lifeless. A mile ahead, A lone tree stands beside the track. It's dead, has been dead for years probably, but it's a landmark. The 3 branches tree, caravans call it, though it actually has 5 branches now because counting is apparently hard when you're naming landmarks. When we pass it, we'll be a quarter of the way to the caravanserai. We reach the tree. Someone has left prayer flags tied to the branches, silk strips in faded colors, covered in writing I can't read from this distance. Pilgrims probably, asking for safe journey, or merchants giving thanks for safe arrival. Same thing, different direction. Monkey makes a small gesture of respect as we pass. He's more religious than I am. Not difficult. I'm religious in the way a man is religious when things are going badly and he needs someone to blame or beg. The rest of the time, I figure the gods have bigger concerns than whether Tamer the caravan guard makes it to Kashgar intact. The main caravan passes the tree 20 minutes later. I can hear Ibrahim calling out orders, keeping the pace steady. Not too fast, you don't want to tire the animals in the first hours. Not too slow. We have distance to cover and limited daylight. The pace he sets is the pace he's been setting for 30 years. Sustainable, relentless, effective. I'm thirsty. The sun is well up now and my water skin is calling to me. I take a drink, not too much, just enough to wet my throat and remind my body that water exists. Water discipline is important out here. You ration by habit, not by thirst, because by the time you're thirsty, you're already behind. Monkey mirrors me, taking his own drink. We're both learning the same lesson the desert teaches everyone eventually. Respect water. Don't waste it. Don't assume you'll find more. Treat it like the precious resource it is. Men who ignore this lesson get found later, dried out and dead, contributing their bones to the landscape. Cheerful thought. I'm full of them today. The morning wears on. The sun climbs. The temperature rises from uncomfortable to genuinely unpleasant. I've shed my heavy coat and tied it to my saddle. I'm down to my undershirt and trousers, and I'm still too warm. Moon is starting to sweat. I can see the dark patches on his neck and shoulders. We'll need to rest soon, let the animals recover. As if reading my mind, I see Ibrahim's signal for a short halt. The caravan slows, stops. Immediate chaos as everyone dismounts, stretches, attends to personal needs and animal needs in whatever order priorities dictate. The camels sink to the ground with sounds of profound relief. Can't blame them. I'd sink to the ground too if someone would promise to help me back up again. I stay mounted. My job is watching, not resting. Monkey does the same, though he looks like he'd rather dismount and find shade. Chin circles the caravan slowly, checking for stragglers or problems. The other guards are posted at intervals, creating a loose perimeter. It's probably overkill. We haven't seen another soul since yesterday, but probably is a word that gets men killed. The merchants are gathering in the shade of a large piece of canvas. Someone's strung up between poles. Smart. The sun is getting serious about its job of making everything hot. Ibrahim is there, of course, directing the distribution of water to the animals. Animals first, people second. Dead animals mean dead profit. I watch the ridgelines. Nothing moves except heat shimmer. The rocks are probably hot enough to cook on by now. Nothing intelligent would be out in this sun unless it had to be, which means we're out in this sun. I'm not sure what that says about our intelligence. Those of you who did tours in hot climates know this feeling, the sun as an enemy, the heat as a thing you fight against hour by hour until sunset offers mercy. Desert, jungle, it doesn't matter. When it's hot enough, geography becomes irrelevant and it's just you versus the temperature. I'd ask if I'm right, but I already know the answer. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The rest break lasts maybe 30 minutes. Long enough for animals and people to recover slightly, not so long that we lose daylight. Ibrahim gives the signal and we form up again. The process is faster now. Everyone remembers their position. Their rhythm is established. We move. The afternoon is going to be brutal. I can feel it already. The sun has that quality. That pressing down, burning through quality that makes you understand why ancient peoples worshipped it. Not because they were primitive, but because they understood it could kill them, and sometimes worship is just preemptive negotiation with dangerous forces. Moon is settling into his traveling pace, steady, sustainable, no wasted energy. He's done this before. We both have. The trick is to find the rhythm where you're moving, but not exhausting yourself, covering distance but preserving strength. It's a meditation almost. Left foot, right foot, hour after hour, the sun crossing the sky, the mountains never seeming to get closer, even though they must be. Monkey is quiet. The heat has suppressed conversation. We ride in silence, watching, listening, slowly baking like bread in an oven. I've wrapped cloth around my head and neck, leaving only my eyes exposed. Even then, the sun finds ways to punish. My lips are already dry. By evening, they'll be cracked. By tomorrow, they'll be painful. This is simply how it works out here. The caravan behind us is quieter now. The early morning chatter has died. Everyone is focused on just moving, just surviving the heat, just reaching the next destination. This is the part of travel that doesn't make it into the stories. The stories talk about bandits and battles and dramatic moments. They don't talk about the 8 hours of riding through heat that makes you reconsider every life choice that led to this moment. We pass another landmark, a cairn of stacked stones marking the route. Someone, many someones, over many years has added to this pile. Each traveler adding a rock, maybe for luck, maybe just to mark their passage. I am here. I survived this far. Remember me. It's a humble form of immortality, but it's more than most people get. A thought occurs to me as we pass. I've been on this road 7 times. I've passed this cairn 7 times. I have never added a stone. Why is that? Superstition? Laziness? Some sense that acknowledging the difficulty would make it more real? I don't add a stone today either. I just note the omission and move on. The sun reaches its peak, directly overhead, no shade possible, nowhere to hide. This is the worst part of any desert day, the hours when the sun owns you completely. We keep moving because stopping would be pointless. There's no shelter out here. At least moving creates some breeze, even if it's just hot air passing over hotter skin. I drink again. Monkey drinks. We don't talk about it, don't comment on the heat, don't complain. Complaining uses energy and accomplishes nothing. The heat doesn't care about your feelings. The sun is indifferent to suffering. You endure because the alternative is worse. Time becomes strange in heat, like this. Minutes stretch, hours compress. I find myself thinking about nothing and everything, wondering if my cousin's wife had her baby yet. Remembering a meal I ate in Bukhara 3 years ago, lamb cooked with apricots, bread so fresh it steamed. Thinking about water, mostly thinking about water. Moon stumbles slightly. Not a fall, just a brief loss of rhythm. I lean forward immediately, checking his gait. He recovers, continues on, but I'm alert now. A stumble can mean fatigue, injury, or just uneven ground. I watch him carefully for the next 100 yards. His pace is steady, no limping. Probably just a rock or uneven footing. Probably. That word again. Behind us, I hear one of the camels making distressed sounds, then shouting, then more shouting. The caravan slows, stops. I turn Moon around and ride back to see what's happened. One of the younger camels has gone down. Not sick down or tired down, but refusing to move down, which is different. The camel driver is arguing with it in what sounds like very creative profanity. The camel is responding with a look that clearly communicates, I don't care about your schedule or your silk or your urgent need to reach Kashgar. I am sitting here now. Ibrahim arrives, assesses the situation with the eye of a man who's dealt with recalcitrant camels before. Redistribute the load, he orders. Split it between the other animals. We're not waiting. The servants scramble to follow orders. The camel watches with what I swear is satisfaction. I've never met a camel that wasn't fundamentally committed to making human life difficult. It's like they evolved specifically to be contrary. The redistribution takes 15 minutes we can't afford, but we can afford it even less if we abandon valuable cargo because one camel decided to go on strike. Finally, everything is secured on other animals and we move again, leaving the stubborn camel to contemplate its choices in the desert sun. It'll probably get up and follow eventually, or it won't. Natural selection in action. We've lost time. Ibrahim pushes the pace slightly to compensate. Not much. You can't rush in this heat without risking the whole caravan, but enough that I can feel the difference. Moon responds without complaint, but I can tell he's feeling it. We all are. The landscape is changing gradually. The valley is widening, the mountains pulling back slightly. This is good. It means we're getting closer to the caravanserai. It's bad because wider valley means more ground for bandits to cover if they want to hit us from multiple angles. I scan the ridgelines again. Still nothing. The emptiness is either reassuring or ominous, hard to tell which. Monkey has been quiet for the last hour. Now he speaks. How much further? 2 hours if we keep this pace, I say. 3 if we have more camel negotiations. He nods, falls silent again. Young guards always think there should be more to say. Older guards know that sometimes silence is the conversation. The sun is past its peak now, beginning its long fall toward evening. The heat is still intense, but there's a psychological difference knowing the worst is over. We've survived the midday. Everything from here is gradual improvement toward the mercy of darkness. My water skin is getting light. I've been disciplined about drinking, but the heat takes its toll regardless of discipline. I calculate enough for maybe 2 more good drinks. That should be sufficient to reach the caravanserai. Should. That word again. Moon's breathing is heavier now. Not distressed, but working. He's a tough animal, but he's not made of stone. None of us are. I lean forward and pat his neck. Not much further, I tell him. He can't understand the words, but he understands the tone. Partnership works both ways. We pass a section of road where rocks have been arranged in patterns, arrows pointing forward, stacked cairns, deliberate shapes that mean something to someone. Navigation markers probably, or territorial claims, or religious symbols. The desert is full of human meaning, scratched onto a landscape that predates meaning. A dust cloud appears ahead, maybe a mile distant. I immediately signal to Monk, who's already seen it. We both slow, hands moving to weapons. Dust cloud could mean wind, could mean animals, could mean another caravan, could mean bandits. We wait, watch. The cloud grows, resolves. Riders, 4 of them moving fast, coming toward us. Monkey, I say quietly. Fall back to the main caravan, alert Ibrahim, tell Chen to get ready. He doesn't argue, doesn't ask questions, just turns his horse and rides back. This is why I work with professionals. I stay put, watching the approaching riders. Moon is tense beneath me. He knows something's different, can feel it in my posture. My hand is on my bow case, but I haven't drawn yet. No point. Advertising intent until I know theirs. The riders get closer. Now I can make out details. Horses, not camels. Light armor. Weapons. Visible but not drawn. They're moving with purpose but not with attack speed. Could be scouts for a bandit group. Could be merchants in a hurry. Could be messengers. Could be trouble wearing a friendly face. They slow as they approach. One raises a hand in what could be greeting or could be, I'm not holding a weapon right now. I return the gesture, keeping my other hand very visible and very empty. They stop, maybe 20 yards out. Close enough to talk, far enough that charging would give me time to react. The lead rider is older, maybe 50, with the look of a man who's been on the road his entire life. Scars on his face, good equipment, confident posture. Peace, he calls out in Persian. Standard greeting. Peace, I reply. You're traveling late. We're traveling fast, he corrects. Carrying messages from Kashgar to Samarkand. You're the Ibrahim caravan? I nod slowly. Who's asking? Merchants Guild. We have business with Ibrahim. He pauses. We're not bandits if that's your concern. Everyone says that, I point out. The bandits especially. He laughs, a genuine sound. Fair point. Your caravan master will recognize me. I'm Darius. I made this run last month. I consider. Ibrahim knows everyone on this route. If this man is lying, Ibrahim will know immediately. If he's telling the truth, refusing to let him pass would insult the Merchants Guild, which is bad for business. Politics isn't my job, but keeping Ibrahim's interests safe is. Stay there, I tell him. I'll bring Ibrahim forward. Appreciate the caution, he says, and means it. Careful guards keep caravans safe. Safe caravans keep routes profitable. We all benefit from reasonable paranoia. I ride back to the main caravan, where Ibrahim is already approaching with Chen flanking him. I give him the basics. 4 riders, claim to be merchants' messengers. Leader says his name is Darius. Ibrahim's face lights up. as much as Ibrahim's face lights up for anything. Darius, yes, I know him. Good. He rides forward and I follow, because trusting people is one thing, but that doesn't mean I stop doing my job. The reunion is cordial. Darius and Ibrahim exchange greetings that confirm they know each other. Business is discussed, something about silk prices in Kashgar, something about new taxes, something about bandits active in the western passes. I listen but don't particularly care about the details. My job is watching for threats, and these men are talking like old acquaintances. After 10 minutes of conversation, Darius and his riders continue on their way towards Samarkand. Ibrahim watches them go with a thoughtful expression. Problems? I ask. Always problems, he says, but none that change our plans. The caravanserai should be safe. The route beyond is negotiable. He looks at me. Double the watch tonight. Already planning on it, I tell him. We continue on. The encounter has cost us maybe 20 minutes, but we gained information, which is valuable. The caravanserai is safe, that's good. The route beyond is problematic. That's expected. Bandits are always active somewhere. Our job is to not be where they are, or to be ready when we can't avoid them. The landscape continues to open up. I can see the caravanserai now, maybe 2 miles ahead. It's a fortified structure, square and solid, with walls high enough to keep out casual trouble. Smoke rises from inside. Other caravans are already there. Fires are burning. Life is happening in that small pocket of civilization in the middle of nowhere. I feel Moon pick up his pace slightly. He knows what the caravanserai means. Food, water, rest, maybe a stable instead of hobbles. Horses are smarter than we give them credit for. Behind me, I hear the mood of the caravan lift. People talking again, energy returning now that the destination is in sight. It's psychological. We're still hot, still tired, still dusty, but the mind is powerful, and the promise of rest does things to human spirits. The sun is descending, taking some of the day's fury with it. Still hot, but the quality of heat is changing. Less like being slowly cooked, more like just being generally uncomfortable. I'll take it. We're close enough now that I can make out details. Me! The walls are mud brick, thick and weathered but maintained. There are guards on the towers. I can see their silhouettes. The gates are open, welcoming. This is a legitimate caravanserai, not some bandit trap pretending to be one. Good. Ibrahim signals for a pace increase. Not a rush. We're too tired for rushing, but a purposeful acceleration. We're going to make it before full sunset, which means we'll have light to unload and establish camp properly. Small victories. Monkey rides up alongside me. Safe? He asks, nodding at the caravanserai. Safer than the open desert, I say, but keep your weapons close. Buildings full of strangers are opportunities for both friendship and treachery, sometimes simultaneously. He grins. You're very cheerful, you know that? I'm alive, I say, and I intend to stay that way. Cheerfulness is negotiable. We pass through the gates just as the sun is kissing the western horizon. Perfect timing. Ibrahim is pleased. You can tell by the fact that his normal expression of concentrated worry has lightened by approximately 3%. In Ibrahim terms, this is celebration. The caravanserai is larger than it looked from outside. The walls enclose maybe an acre of packed earth, with a central courtyard and surrounding structures, stables, storage rooms, sleeping quarters, a communal cooking area. There are already 2 other caravans here, which means we'll be competing for space, but that's normal. Caravanserais exist specifically to handle multiple groups. The master of the caravanserai approaches Ibrahim. They know each other. Of course they do. Ibrahim knows everyone. Money changes hands. Arrangements are made. We're assigned the eastern section of the courtyard, which is fine. Not the best location. That went to whoever arrived first, but adequate. I dismount finally. My legs remember how to hold weight, barely. 7 hours in the saddle will do that to you. I lead Moon toward the stable area, where servants are already organizing space for animals. Someone will tend to him properly, brush him down, check his hooves, give him grain and water. I'll check on him later, make sure it's done right, but for now I trust the process. My saddlebags come off Moon's back, my bedroll follows, my weapons stay on my person always. I find a spot in our assigned area and claim it by putting my gear down. Territorial rights established. Other guards are doing the same. Rashid looks exhausted. Young guards always push themselves too hard the first weeks, trying to prove something. Monkey is moving well despite the long day. Chen is already making his rounds, checking perimeter even though we're inside walls. Once a guard, always a guard. I need water. Not rationed water from a skin, but real water, fresh from a well. I make my way to the central well where a line is formed. No pushing, no rushing. Everyone here understands the water is shared or everyone suffers. I wait my turn. The man in front of me is Chinese, from one of the other caravans. We nod at each other. Universal language of tired travelers. I acknowledge your existence, and we share this suffering. Long day? He asks in passable Persian. Long enough, I reply. You? Started before dawn, pushed hard to make it here. He pauses. Worth it though. I agree. It's always worth it when you arrive intact. My turn arrives. I draw water. Cold, clean, perfect. I drink, then drink again, then pour some over my head. And don't care that I'm wasting it because this is the best moment of the entire day. The water is cold enough to make my teeth hurt, and I don't care about that either. I refill my water skin. Drink one more time. Step aside for the next person. Small ceremonies of survival. Back at our section, camp is being established. Tents are going up. Merchants' tents, proper structures with poles and canvas. Guards get bedrolls and the sky, unless we're lucky enough to claim room in the sleeping quarters. I'm not particular. Have slept in worse places than the ground. Food is being prepared. Actual cooking, not just dried meat and hard bread. I can smell onions frying, meat roasting, bread baking. My stomach makes a sound like distant thunder. Ibrahim appears, doing his evening inspection. Everything is proceeding according to his standards, which are high. The camels are secure. The valuable cargo is locked in storage rooms. Guards are posted. The routine is maintained. Double watch, Ibrahim reminds me, though he knows I haven't forgotten. Already arranged, I confirm. Rotating shifts, 4 guards active at all times. He nods. This is why he hired me. I do the job without requiring detailed instructions. The information from Darius is concerning. Bandits are active in the western passes. We'll need to adjust our route. Tomorrow's problem, I say. Tonight, we're safe. Safe is a relative term, he says, but there's almost a smile. Almost. I make my way to the cooking area where food is being distributed. Rice with some kind of stew poured over it. Bread, a piece of fruit that I can't identify but doesn't smell poisonous. I take my portion and find a spot to sit. The food is hot. This alone makes it the best meal I've had in days. The fact that it's also reasonably tasty is a bonus I didn't expect. I eat slowly, savoring each bite, aware that tomorrow we'll be back to dried meat and hard bread. Around me, the caravan is relaxing. Conversation rises. People sharing stories, comparing routes, exchanging information. This is the social side of Silk Road travel. The network, the gossip, the intelligence gathering disguised as friendly chat. Merchants learn about markets. Guards learn about threats. Everyone learns something. I listen more than I talk. Old habit. You learn more with your ears than your mouth. Someone is playing a stringed instrument. A tar, I think. Though I'm not good with instruments. The music is melancholy and beautiful. The kind of sound that makes you think about home even if you're not sure where home is anymore. Several people are singing along quietly. The music wraps around the courtyard, softening the hard edges of the day. Monkey sits down next to me with his own meal. We eat in companionable silence. After a while, he says, 7 years you've been doing this? 7 years of caravans, I confirm. Before that, military service. Before that, herding sheep. My life is a progression of watching things while trying not to die. He considers this. You ever think about stopping? Every single day, I say honestly. And then I wake up the next morning and do it again. The money is good. The work is predictable. I'm good at it. These things matter. No family, cousins, aunts, uncles, a mother who wants me to settle down and give her grandchildren. I shrug. Someday maybe, when I've saved enough, when I've done enough, but I'm ready, whatever that means. I think about settling down sometimes, Monkey admits, but then I remember I'm terrible at staying in one place. The road suits me. Until it doesn't, I say. Then you settle, or you die. Those are the options. Cheerful again. Consistent. We finish eating. The musician plays on. The fires burn down to coals. The sky transitions from purple to black, stars emerging like somebody slowly opening 1,000 tiny windows in the roof of the world. I should sleep. I'm on the third watch, which means I have maybe 4 hours to rest before my shift. But I'm too aware, too alert, still running on the day's tension. Sleep will come eventually. It always does, but not yet. I check on Moon in the stable. He's been brushed down, fed, watered. His hooves have been checked. Someone did good work. I run my hand down his neck, and he makes a contented sound. Tomorrow we do it again, I tell him. He doesn't seem concerned. Horses live in the moment. We could learn from that. Back in the courtyard, the activity level has dropped. Most people are settling in for the night. Guards are at their posts. The merchant tents are closed. Valuable cargo locked away. The caravanserai master makes his rounds, ensuring all is well. It's a small city, temporary but functional, and like all cities, it has its rhythms. I spread my bedroll in our assigned area. My saddlebags become a pillow. My weapons stay within reach. Around me, other guards are doing the same. We're not exactly comfortable, but we're secure, and that's worth more than comfort. The stars are remarkable tonight. No clouds, no moon yet, just stars upon stars upon stars. The Milky Way is a river of light across the sky. I know some of the constellations. My father taught me the ones he knew, which he learned from his father, knowledge passed down through generations of people who navigated by the sky because there was no other option. I find the North Star. Orient myself. We're still heading northwest, still on course. Tomorrow we'll continue. Day after day, mile after mile, until we reach Kashgar, and this caravan ends, and I join another one heading somewhere else. This is my life, not glamorous, not heroic, just persistent. Historians debate whether the Silk Road was truly about silk, or whether it was about ideas and cultures mixing. From where I'm lying, looking at the stars, I think it was about this. People being willing to cross impossible distances through dangerous territory for reasons that seemed good at the time. Trade, yes. Profit, yes. But also curiosity. Also stubbornness. Also the simple human drive to see what's on the other side of the mountains. I close my eyes. Sleep pulls at me now, that heavy exhaustion that comes from spending a day in the saddle under the sun. Tomorrow I'll wake up sore. Tomorrow I'll do it again. This is what I know. This is what I do. Those of you who've served understand this feeling. The routine, the repetition, the days that blend together into a continuous experience of just doing the job. It's not exciting. It's rarely dramatic, but it's real, and it's yours, and somehow that makes it worthwhile. Someone is shaking my shoulder. I wake instantly, hand moving toward my knife before consciousness fully returns. Training. The person shaking me is Chen. Third watch. My turn. I sit up, orient myself. The courtyard is quiet except for soft breathing of sleeping people and animals. The fires are low. The stars have wheeled across the sky. Hours have passed. My back complains about the ground. My neck has opinions about my choice of pillow. I ignore both. Anything? I ask Chen, my voice rough with sleep. Quiet, he confirms. One drunk merchant tried to leave the compound for unclear reasons. We discouraged him. Otherwise, nothing. I nod, pull on my boots, grab my weapons. Chen returns to his bedroll. I'm alert now, that strange hyper-awareness that comes from the third watch. Not quite awake, not quite asleep, existing in a space between. I make my way to the wall. The guard I'm relieving is one of the caravanserai's permanent staff, a local who probably does this every night. We exchange nods. He descends. I ascend. From up here, the view is different. The desert stretches out in all directions, invisible in the darkness but present. The stars provide enough light to see shapes but not details. The mountains are black shadows against a slightly less black sky. Nothing moves except wind. This is the loneliest part of guard work. The deep night watch, when everyone else is sleeping, and you're alone with your thoughts and the darkness. Some guards hate it. I find it peaceful. There's honesty in the night. No pretense, no performance. Just you and the task and the slowly passing time. I walk the wall, checking sightlines, making sure I can see approaches from all directions. The caravanserai is well-designed walls, high enough to prevent easy climbing, towers positioned to cover blind spots, gates heavy and secured. Someone knew what they were doing when they built this place. Below in the courtyard, I can hear someone snoring. Impressive volume. Someone else mutters in their sleep. A camel makes an inquiring sound, probably wondering why it's dark and if this is someone's fault. The mundane sounds of life continuing despite the hour. I think about the route ahead. Darius mentioned bandits in the western passes. That's concerning, but not surprising. Bandits are a constant, like weather. You prepare for them, avoid them when possible, fight them when necessary. They're a business expense, basically. Sometimes they take cargo. Sometimes we fight them off. Sometimes we pay them a toll, and everyone pretends it's legitimate taxation. The system works because everyone knows their role. The question is, will our caravan be worth the risk for them? We're large enough to be valuable, small enough to be vulnerable. We have guards, but not an army. Ideal target, really. Ibrahim knows this. We all know this. Tomorrow we'll discuss routes, options, contingencies. Tonight, I watch the darkness and make sure nothing approaches while we're vulnerable. Time passes. The stars wheel. My mind wanders through familiar paths, memories of other watches, other caravans, other nights spent staring into darkness. A pattern of stars that looks like a horse. A different pattern that looks like nothing but which my father insisted was a great warrior. The arbitrary meanings we impose on random configurations of distant fires. A sound catches my attention, different from the background noise. I freeze, listening. Their movement, maybe 50 yards out. Could be an animal. Could be a person trying to be quiet. I wait, watching the darkness where the sound came from. Movement again, definitely something out there. I track it by sound more than sight. Whatever it is, it's moving away from the caravanserai, not toward it. Probably an animal then. Bandits approach, they don't retreat. I relax slightly but don't stop watching. False alarms are part of the job. Better to be alert to nothing than to miss something real. The night continues. Hours pass in that strange, timeless way they do on watch. Not slow, not fast, just continuous. The stars move. The air gets colder. My breath becomes visible. I pull my coat tighter. In the east, the sky is thinking about, maybe considering the possibility of not being completely black. Dawn is still hours away, but it's starting the long process of arrival. The darkest hour is before the dawn. Whoever first said that was pulling a watch shift and being poetic about their suffering. Below, I see another guard starting to move. The watch is changing. My shift will end soon. I'll wake the next guard, brief them, then collapse into my bedroll for another few hours of sleep before we break camp and do this all over again. Monkey appears at the base of my tower. I descend. We exchange the brief communication of guards who are both too tired for full sentences. Quiet, I tell him. Movement at 50 yards west, 90 minutes ago, assessed as animal, retreated. Otherwise nothing. He nods, climbs. I return to my bedroll. The ground has somehow gotten harder during my absence. Physics doesn't work that way, but my back insists otherwise. I lie down, pull my blanket over me, close my eyes. Sleep comes fast, the exhausted sleep of someone who spent the day in the saddle, the evening alert, and the night watching. Dreamless, deep, necessary. I wake to the sound of the camp stirring. Can't be more than 2 hours since I lay down. Feels like 10 minutes. This is fine. This is normal. I'm used to operating on insufficient sleep. It's basically the job description. I sit up, inventory my body parts. Everything hurts, but nothing is broken. I'll take it. Around me, others are rising, going through the same morning calculations. Can I stand? Yes. Can I do this another day? Have to. Therefore, yes. The caravanserai is organized chaos. Multiple caravans are preparing to depart, each with their own timeline and destination. Some are heading the direction we came from. Some are going perpendicular to our route. One is heading the same direction we are, which means we'll either travel together for safety or maintain distance to avoid competing for resources. Ibrahim will decide. I pack my gear, Bedroll, saddlebags, weapons check. The routine is automatic now. Muscle memory from 7 years of doing this every few days. Everything has its place. Everything gets checked. Nothing gets left behind. Moon is waiting in the stable, looking rested and fed and ready to remind me that he's the smart one in this partnership. I saddle him up. Check the cinch. Yes, Rashid, this is important. This is why I tell you to check it every single time and lead him out to the courtyard. Breakfast is distributed. Flatbread, tea that's actually tea this time, some kind of porridge. I eat standing up, watching the organized confusion of departure preparation. Ibrahim is directing traffic again, ensuring everything is loaded correctly. Everyone knows the plan, nothing is forgotten. The other caravan heading our direction is larger than ours, maybe 60 camels, more guards. Their caravan master approaches Ibrahim. Negotiations occur. I can't hear the conversation, but I can read the body language, weighing options, calculating risks, finding common ground. Ibrahim returns. We travel together for 3 days, he announces. Combined caravan, better defense, shared costs at caravanserais, mutual support. This is good news. Bandits think twice before attacking a caravan of 100 animals and 20 guards. The trade-off is slower pace and shared resources, but safety is worth the inconvenience. The sun breaks the horizon as we're forming up. Golden light floods across the desert, warm and promising. The day will be hot again, but right now, in this moment, the sun is welcome. We move out. The combined caravan is impressive. I count approximately 40 guards, 70 camels, 30 horses, maybe 90 people total. We're a small mobile city. The formation is different now. Guards more spread out, merchants from both caravans mixing in the protected center, a loose but effective structure. I take my position with Monkey and 2 guards from the other caravan brothers, apparently, name something I don't catch the first time and am too embarrassed to ask about again. They seem competent. They're alert, well-armed, and not chatty. Good qualities in fellow guards. The road ahead is the same road as yesterday. Packed earth, dust, rocks, endless desert. But today feels different. The larger group creates its own psychology. More people means more eyes watching, more hands ready for trouble, more mass to deter problems. It's not perfect safety, nothing is, but it's better. Moon settles into the traveling pace. He knows this rhythm, we all do. Left foot, right foot, hour after hour, the sun crossing the sky, the mountains slowly shifting position as we move north and west. This is my life. Not heroic, not romantic, just persistent. 7 years of this. Probably 7 more before I've saved enough to stop. Maybe I'll settle down then. Maybe I won't. The future is hypothetical. The present is a gray horse beneath me, and a desert stretching ahead, and a job that needs doing. And you know what? It's enough. It's not everything I might have wanted when I was young and thought life would be different. But it's honest work. It pays well. I'm good at it, and at the end of each day, I'm still alive. These things matter more than romance or adventure. The day stretches ahead. More riding, more heat, more watching. Nothing happened while staying ready for everything. Same as yesterday, same as tomorrow. The routine is the point. But before I settle fully into the monotony, let me ask you something. Those of you who've served, who've done jobs where showing up every day was the actual challenge, who've ground through months or years of routine punctuated by brief moments of intensity, did you find the same thing I found? That the boring parts, the repetitive parts, the just doing your job parts, those become their own kind of meditation, their own form of meaning? I'm curious. Drop a comment if you're inclined, especially if you've got stories about standing watch, pulling shifts, or just doing the work while everyone else slept. I'd genuinely like to hear them. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a desert to cross. The mountains aren't getting any closer while I'm talking. The midday heat is aggressive. With the larger caravan, there's more dust, more body heat, more general misery concentrated in one mobile location. But there's also more water carriers making rounds, more organization, more structure. Advantages and disadvantages balance out. We stop for midday rest at a location where someone long ago dug a well. The water is brackish but drinkable. The animals drink first, always animals first. Then the merchants. Then everyone else. Hierarchy in action. I'm rationing my water carefully despite the well. Tomorrow we'll be in more exposed terrain with fewer reliable water sources. Today's abundance doesn't guarantee tomorrow's survival. This is a lesson the desert teaches early and reinforces often. The heat has suppressed most conversation. People huddle in whatever shade they can create or find. The camels have gone into power-saving mode, barely moving. Even the flies seem less energetic, which is saying something because desert flies are normally relentless. I find a spot with approximately 3 square inches of shade and sit. Close enough. One of the brothers from the other caravan's guard force approaches. He's carrying extra water. "You look like you could use this," he says in accented Persian. I accept the water skin. Drink. Return it. Appreciated. "This your first combined caravan." "Third," I say. "You?" "Lost count." "We work exclusively for the merchant guilds. Multiple routes, year-round." He pauses. "It's steady work." Steady work is high praise in our profession. I nod acknowledgement. We sit in companionable silence, sharing the minimal shade. After a while, he says, "The bandits ahead, you heard?" "Heard," I confirm. "Western passes supposedly active." Could be truth, could be rumors, could be protection rackets spreading fear to justify their tolls. Could be all three, he suggests. Can't argue with that. The heat continues. The sun continues. We continue, because stopping isn't an option. Eventually, Ibrahim signals to reform. The process is slower now. Heat makes everything slower. But we manage. The combined caravan shakes itself into motion like a very large, very tired beast remembering it has places to be. Back in the saddle. Moon and I resume our partnership. He carries me. I guide him. We both suffer the heat together and don't complain about it because complaining doesn't make it cooler. The afternoon passes in that timeless way. Desert afternoons do. Hot, then hotter, then questioning whether spontaneous combustion is real. The landscape doesn't change much. Desert, rocks, distant mountains that never seem to get closer despite hours of travel toward them. My mind goes elsewhere. This is normal for long rides in heat. The body continues functioning while the mind wanders. I think about my mother's house in the village where I grew up. Stone walls, thick roof, cool interior. I can almost feel the temperature drop when you step inside. Memory is a powerful thing. I think about the last time I saw my cousins. 2 years ago? 3? Time blurs when you're always moving. They were talking about getting married, having children, building lives in one place. I remember thinking it sounded boring. Now I'm thinking it sounds restful. But not yet. Not while I can still do this. Not while the money is good and the body is capable. There will be time for rest later. Maybe. Hours pass. The sun begins its descent. Finally. The temperature remains brutal, but the psychological effect of knowing the worst is over helps. We're through another day. Tomorrow we'll do it again. The pattern continues. Late afternoon brings the first hint of cooler air. Not actually cool, just less aggressively hot. I'll take it. Moon's pace picks up slightly. The whole caravan senses the evening approaching. Animals and people both respond to the promise of rest. The lead scouts report back. The next caravanserai is visible ahead, approximately 1 hour distant. Good news. We'll arrive before dark, have time to establish camp properly. Small victories accumulate into survival. Ibrahim and the other caravan master confer. Decisions are made. We'll stay together through tomorrow, then reassess based on information gathered at the caravanserai. The partnership is working so far. We arrive as the sun is kissing the horizon. This caravanserai is larger than last night's, has to be, to accommodate a combined caravan of our size. The gates are already open, expecting us. Someone sent word ahead, probably the scouts. The process of entering, claiming space, settling in is familiar now. I could do it in my sleep. Probably have done it in my sleep. Moon knows the routine as well as I do. Stable, food, water, rest. He heads directly toward the stable area without needing guidance. Smart horse. I dismount, feel the usual protest from legs that have been locked in riding position for 8 hours. Ignore the protest. Unload Moon. Hand him over to the stable hands. Claim my sleeping spot. Check weapons. Make rounds. Report to Ibrahim. receive tomorrow's briefing, eat whatever food is available, collapse. The routine is comforting. When everything is chaos, routine is sanity. This caravanserai has actual sleeping quarters, small rooms around the courtyard's perimeter. Ibrahim has secured several for the merchants and senior guards. I'm senior enough to qualify. A room with a door and walls and no sky. Luxury. Thy name is horizontal surface that isn't ground. I claim a room, deposit my gear, immediately regret the decision. Rooms are hot, airless, confining. I'm too used to open sky. After 10 minutes, I drag my bedroll back outside and claim a spot in the courtyard. Better. The walls can have their trapped heat. I'll take the open air. Food tonight is more elaborate. Multiple caravans mean multiple cooking groups, each trying to outdo the others. Competition is healthy. I end up with rice, actual vegetables, meat that might be chicken or might be rabbit, and bread that's still warm. This is a feast by caravan standards. I eat slowly, savoring each bite, knowing tomorrow we'll be back to dried meat and hard bread. The merchant who provided this meal is from the other caravan, a wealthy trader from somewhere near the Caspian Sea. He's trying to impress, establish status, build relationships. It's working. Good food creates goodwill. After eating, I make my rounds. Check the perimeter. Count guards. Verify everyone knows their shifts. Ensure weapons are accessible. Confirm the watch rotation. Ibrahim's teaching. Trust the system, but verify the system is being followed. The courtyard is more crowded tonight. More people means more conversation, more music, more life. Someone is telling a story. I catch fragments as I pass. Something about a merchant who tried to cheat a dragon. The listeners are laughing. Stories are currency on the Silk Road, traded as freely as silk and spices. I find a quiet corner and sit, just watching. This is one of those moments where the job is interesting. All these people from all these places gathered in this one temporary location, each with their own story, their own destination, their own reasons for crossing deserts and mountains. The Silk Road isn't just a physical path. It's a network of human ambition and necessity. Two merchants are arguing about the price of silk in Samarkand versus Kashgar. Their discussion is intense but friendly. Both know they're performing for the audience as much as debating. Others are listening, learning, filing away information for their own trades. A group of servants are singing quietly, some song in a language I don't recognize. The melody is beautiful, sad and hopeful simultaneously. Music does that, transcends language, conveys emotions that words can't reach. Monk appears with 2 cups of tea. Real tea this time, not guard tea. He hands me one and sits down beside me. Long day, he observes. They're all long, I reply. Some are just longer than others. We drink tea in silence. It's actually good tea. Someone is showing off their expensive imports. I'm not complaining. You ever think about what you'll do after? Monka asks. When you're done with this? Every day, I admit. And every day the answer is different. Sometimes I think I'll buy land, race horses. Sometimes I think I'll open a small trading post, use what I've learned. Sometimes I think I'll just find a village somewhere and do nothing for a year. Which one is real? No idea, I say honestly. Ask me in 7 years when I've saved enough to make it a real choice instead of a hypothetical one. He considers this. I think I'll do it forever, he says. The road, can't imagine stopping. You will eventually, I tell him. Body gives out, or luck runs out, or you just get tired of being tired. But enjoy it while it works. Not everyone gets to see what we've seen. This is true. How many people get to watch the sunrise over a dozen different deserts? How many people cross mountains most will never see? How many people can say they've protected merchants, carrying goods from one end of the known world to the other? Not many. We're a small club. The price of admission is high comfort, stability, regular sleep, relationships that last longer than a caravan route. But the membership benefits include stories most people can't imagine. The evening wears on. The courtyard gradually quiets as people settle in for sleep. Guards take their positions. The routine establishes itself even in this larger, more complex setting. I should sleep. I'm on the second watch tonight, which gives me maybe 5 hours. I spread my bedroll, organize my gear, position my weapons within reach, the familiar ritual. Before I lie down, I look up at the stars one more time. They're the same stars I saw from the steps where I grew up. The same stars I've seen from 100 different camps, 100 different locations. Constant and unchanging while everything else shifts and moves. There's comfort in that. I lie down. The ground is hard, but I'm tired enough not to care. Tomorrow will bring more riding, more heat, more vigilance. The day after that, the same. This is the pattern. This is the life I've chosen. Is it enough? Most days, yes. Some days, I'm not sure. But it's mine, and I'm good at it, and that counts for something. Sleep comes, deep and dreamless and necessary. The hand on my shoulder is expected this time. I wake more smoothly, already orienting, already processing. Second watch. Chen is waking me. I sit up, pull on boots, grab weapons, and I'm moving. The courtyard is quiet, larger than last night's, more people, but the same essential silence of deep night when most people are sleeping. I relieve the guard on the east tower, a local, different from last night, but the same weary professionalism. From this vantage point, the desert spreads out under starlight. The combined caravan is more visible than a single group would be. More fires, more mass, more presence. We're making ourselves known. This is both deterrent and beacon. Bandits will see us coming from a long way off. So will anyone else interested in a large merchant caravan. The night is cold, not freezing, but enough that I'm glad for my heavy coat. The temperature swing from midday to midnight is dramatic out here. Those who've served in desert climates know this. Burning by day, freezing by night, comfortable for approximately 20 minutes at dawn and dusk if you're lucky. I walk the wall, checking sightlines, listening to the desert. Wind moves sand, creates small sounds that might be nothing or might be something. Part of the skill is learning to distinguish between normal night sounds and abnormal ones. This comes with time and attention. Hours pass. The stars wheel overhead. I think about the route ahead. 3 more days to reach the western passes where bandits are reportedly active. Then decisions. Fight through, pay toll, find alternate route, wait for armed escort. Ibrahim will weigh options, calculate costs, make the choice that maximizes profit while minimizing risk. This is his expertise. My expertise is simpler. Notice threats before they notice us. Fight if necessary. Survive to collect payment. A sound catches my attention. Different from wind, different from animals. Metal on leather, very quiet. I freeze, listening intently. There. Again. Movement, west side, maybe 100 yards out. I don't raise alarm yet. Could be locals, could be travelers, could be guards from the caravanserai on patrol. I watch, wait, track the sound. The sound moves parallel to the wall, not approaching. Probably patrol from the caravanserai then. I relax slightly but continue watching. Never assume. Assumption gets people killed. The sound fades. Whatever it was, it's gone now. I make a note in my mental log. Activity west side, 100 yards, midnight hour, assessed as non-threatening, but monitored. If Chen asks during shift change, I'll mention it. The watch continues. Time passes in that strange way it does when you're alone in the dark with only your thoughts. Not slow, not fast, just continuous. I find myself thinking about my father again. He did something similar. Not caravan guard, but military service in the Mongol army. Different work. Same essential experience, long periods of boredom punctuated by brief moments of intensity. He told me once, the boring parts are what make the exciting parts survivable. You learn patience in the boring parts. You learn observation. You learn that attention is a muscle you have to exercise even when nothing is happening. I didn't understand then. I was young, wanted excitement, thought guard work was beneath a warrior. Now I understand. The boring parts are the foundation. Without them, the exciting parts kill you. The east is beginning to show the first imperceptible hints of not being completely black. Dawn is still hours away, but the process has started. The darkest part of night is passing. Below, I see another guard beginning to stir. Watch change approaching. I'll brief them, then sleep a few more hours before we break camp and continue west. 3 more days to the passes. Then we'll see if the bandit reports are real or rumors. Then we'll see if my 7 years of experience are sufficient or if I'm about to learn new lessons the hard way. But that's tomorrow's problem. Tonight, I watch the darkness and make sure nothing approaches while we're vulnerable. That's the job. That's what I do. The stars continue their slow wheel across the sky. The wind continues its restless movement. The desert continues, being desert vast, indifferent, dangerous, beautiful. And I continue being a guard on a wall, watching over people who are sleeping, protecting cargo I'll never own, crossing distances for reasons that seemed good when I started and still seem good enough to continue. This is my life. Not perfect, not what I imagined as a young man, but honest and mine. The third morning follows the same pattern as the first two, but with an edge. We're entering the territory where bandits are active. Everyone knows it. The guards are more alert. The merchants are quieter. Even the animals seem to sense the change in atmosphere. Ibrahim briefs the combined guard force before we depart. 22 guards total now. Both caravans' forces coordinated under a unified command structure. He's direct. The next 3 days are when we're most vulnerable. The western passes have limited routes, known ambush points, and bandits who've had all winter to get hungry. We travel alert. We maintain formation. We don't take unnecessary risks. He looks at me. Tamir, you and the forward scouts. Any sign of trouble, you signal immediately and fall back. Don't engage unless you have no choice. I nod. This is sensible. Scouts who try to be heroes end up dead. Scouts who report back keep caravans safe. We move out. The formation is tighter now, more military. Guards at regular intervals, scouting range reduced, everyone watching everything. The easy camaraderie of the first days has been replaced by professional focus. Moon senses my tension, responds with his own heightened alertness. We're a team. When I'm focused, he's focused. Works both ways. The landscape is changing. More rocks, fewer open spaces. The mountains are closer now, looming rather than distant. The road still just packed earth, really. Winds between formations that could hide anything. This is ambush country. Every guard knows it. We ride in silence, watching. The only sounds are hoofbeats, camel grunts, leather creaking, metal jingling, no conversation. Talking distracts from listening, and listening might be what saves your life. Hours pass. The sun climbs. The heat builds, but today, nobody complains about it. Heat is the least of our concerns. Around midday, one of the forward scouts returns at speed. Not panic speed, but purposeful. He reports to Ibrahim, tracks ahead, multiple horses, fresh, less than a day old. Cross the road heading north. Ibrahim processes this. How many? 10, maybe 12, armed. Can't tell from tracks alone, but who rides in a group of 12 in this territory unless they're armed? Fair point. Ibrahim makes his decision. We continue. But we close ranks, double the forward scouts, and prepare for contact. If they're ahead, they know we're coming. If they're not interested, they'll stay clear. If they are interested, we'll see them before they're ready. We continue, but everything has changed. The atmosphere is electric with tension. Every guard is watching every shadow, every rock formation, every possible approach. This is what we're paid for. This is when the boring hours of vigilance pay off or fail to. I'm ranging wide left with Monk and one of the brothers. We're watching the ridgeline, looking for movement, looking for reflections off metal, looking for anything wrong. The landscape is full of features that could hide men, boulders, outcrops, defiles, ravines. Nothing moves except us and the wind. This is somehow worse than seeing an actual threat. The waiting, the anticipation. Knowing it could be anywhere, could hit us any moment, or might not be here at all. Hours pass. No contact. We stop for brief rest, but nobody really rests. Guards stay mounted, watching. The merchants stay close together. The animals are nervous. They can feel our tension. As the sun begins to descend, we see it. A narrow pass ahead where the road goes through a gap between two ridges. Classic ambush point. Ibrahim studies it with the other caravan master. We go through before dark. Ibrahim decides. If they're going to hit us, it'll be there. But darkness makes it worse. We go now. We go fast. We go ready. The guards form up tight around the merchants. I'm pulled back from scouting to join the main defensive line. All 22 guards are visible now, weapons ready, eyes scanning the ridges. We enter the pass. Time slows. Every horse length feels like a mile. Every shadow could be a person. Every rock could hide an archer. We're completely exposed. If bandits are here, this is the moment. Nothing happens. We pass through. The road opens up again. The ridges pull back. We're through the worst bottleneck. Still nothing happens. We ride another mile, then 2. The sun is setting. Ibrahim signals for the caravan to halt and make camp. No caravanserai tonight. We're in the open. But we're through the pass. They weren't there, Monkey says, relief evident in his voice. Or they saw our numbers and decided against it, I reply. Or they're ahead, not behind. Or it was just tracks from travelers. Or they're waiting for tomorrow. Cuss! His relief fades. You're saying we're not safe. I'm saying we're never safe, I tell him, with just varying degrees of not yet dead. Today, we're still breathing. Tomorrow, we stay alert. Camping without walls feels exposed. No caravanserai structure, no barrier between us and whatever's out there, just our numbers and our vigilance. Ibrahim has organized the camp in concentric circles, merchants and valuable cargo in the center, animals forming the middle ring, guards on the outer perimeter. Classic defensive formation. If anything comes at us, they'll have to go through armed guards first. Fires are kept small tonight. Light makes you visible, but also blind you to what's beyond the firelight. We need heat for cooking and morale, but we're not advertising our position more than necessary. Food is basic, dried meat, hard bread, whatever water we have. No elaborate meals tonight. Everyone is too tense to enjoy food anyway. I'm assigned to the first watch, which is fine. I won't sleep well tonight, regardless of when I'm on duty. Too much tension, too much awareness of vulnerability. I take my position on the northern arc of the perimeter. Moon is hobbled nearby, close enough that I can reach him quickly if we need to move. My bow is strung and ready. My saber is loose in its sheath. I'm as prepared as I can be for whatever might happen. The stars come out, the same stars as always, indifferent to human concerns about bandits and safety. The desert is quiet except for wind and the occasional animal sound from the camp. Hours pass. Nothing happens. This should be relaxing. Instead, it's exhausting. The tension of waiting for something that might not come is worse than dealing with actual problems. At least with actual problems, you know what you're facing. Around midnight, I hear movement behind me. I turn, hand on weapon. It's one of the brothers from the other caravan's guard force, bringing water and a brief break. Quiet? He asks. Too quiet, I say, and realize how cliché that sounds. But it's true. The desert is never truly silent. But tonight it feels like even the wind is holding its breath. I've been doing this for 12 years, he says, and I still get nervous on nights like this. Does it get easier? No, he says. You just get better at functioning while nervous. This is oddly comforting. He returns to his position. I continue mine. The stars wheel. The night continues. The tension continues. By the time my watch ends and I'm relieved, my neck and shoulders are iron knots from hours of tension. I try to sleep, but my body refuses to relax completely. I manage maybe 3 hours of shallow, alert sleep before dawn begins to break. The 4th day we push hard. Ibrahim wants to get through the worst of the mountain section before stopping. Everyone agrees. The sooner we're past this territory, the better. The terrain is spectacular and terrible. Massive rock formations tower above the road. Narrow defiles force the caravan to stretch into a long, vulnerable line. Cliffs drop away on one side, sheer faces rise on the other. It's beautiful and it's deadly. We see them mid-morning. Riders on a ridgeline, maybe half a mile distant. 8 of them. Watching us. Ibrahim doesn't panic. Neither do the guards. This was expected. The question is, are they bandits assessing whether to attack? Or just travelers watching a large caravan pass? Maintain formation, Ibrahim orders. Don't show fear, don't show weakness. If they're looking for easy prey, we show them we're not it. The riders watch us for maybe 20 minutes. Then they turn and disappear over the ridge. Were they bandits who decided against us? Scouts for a larger group? Just travelers? We'll never know. We continue. Hours pass. The terrain remains challenging, but we see no more riders. By afternoon, the mountains begin to open up again. We're through the worst of it. Ibrahim doesn't relax, neither do the guards. We maintain vigilance until we're well clear of the mountains, until the terrain opens into desert again, until the ambush points are behind us. Only then, as evening approaches and we sight another caravanserai in the distance, does the tension begin to ease. We made it, through the dangerous section, past the bandits, if they were bandits, across terrain that could have killed us in a dozen different ways. We made it. The relief is profound. This caravanserai is the largest yet. It's a major hub on the Silk Road where multiple routes converge. There are perhaps 5 other caravans here already. The courtyard is bustling with activity, commerce, life. We enter, and the mood immediately shifts. People are smiling. Conversation resumes. The days of tension are over. We're in safe territory now. The remaining journey to Kashgar is relatively secure. Ibrahim is pleased. You can actually see it on his face, which is remarkable. The silk is intact. The merchants are safe. The guards performed well. Success. That night, there's celebration. Not wild, not reckless, but genuine relief and satisfaction. Food is abundant. Tea flows freely. Music fills the courtyard. Stories are told about the riders on the ridge, each retelling getting slightly more dramatic. I find a quiet corner and watch. This is the other side of guard work. Not the boring vigilance or the tense preparation, but the satisfaction of a job well done. We crossed dangerous territory. We protected valuable cargo. Everyone survived. This is success. Monkey finds me with drinks. We made it, he says, stating the obvious but needing to say it anyway. We did, I confirm. I thought for sure those riders were going to attack. So did I admit. But they saw our numbers and our readiness and decided against it, or they weren't bandits at all. Either way, we're here. We drink in companionable silence, watching the celebration. After a while, Monkey says, "You were right about the boring parts being important." Of course I was right, I say. I'm always right. It's one of my most annoying qualities. He laughs. The tension of the past days finally breaks completely. The evening continues. I eventually make my way to check on Moon, who is fine, well-fed, rested, completely unconcerned with the drama humans create for themselves. Smart horse. Tomorrow we'll rest here. The day after, we continue to Kashgar. 3 more days of relatively safe travel. Then this caravan ends and I find another one heading somewhere else. The pattern continues. The final approach to Kashgar is different from the rest of the journey. The danger is past. The hard terrain is behind us. Now it's just steady travel toward a destination we can see. The combined caravan will split tomorrow. Ibrahim's group continues into Kashgar to deliver silk and spices. The other caravan heads south toward different markets. The partnership served its purpose, safety through numbers, and now dissolves. I ride beside Monkey for the last time this journey. We've become friends, in the way guards become friends, shared danger, shared boredom, shared survival. What's your next contract? He asks. Not sure yet, I say. Ibrahim might have another caravan heading east, or I might try the southern routes for a change. Markets are good in the south this season. If you end up on the Samarkand route again, look for me, he says. Good riding with you. Likewise, Moon and I part ways with the main caravan 2 miles from Kashgar. I'm not going into the city. My contract was to get the caravan safely to this point. City guards will handle the final entry and protection. Ibrahim pays me before we part. Full wages, plus a bonus for the dangerous section. Good money, fair money. This is why I keep working for him. Good work, Ibrahim says. Simple words, but from him they mean everything. Good caravan, I reply. Let me know when the next one forms up. He nods. We part ways. He continues toward the city gates. I turn Moon toward the caravanserai outside the city where independent guards stay between contracts. I find a spot outside the caravanserai and sit. Just me and Moon and the setting sun painting the sky in colors that don't exist anywhere else. 7 days from Samarkand to Kashgar. Through heat and cold, danger and boredom, tension and relief. Another successful crossing, another payment secured. Another chapter in the long, repetitive story of being a merchant caravan guard on the Silk Road. This is my life, not glamorous, not heroic, just persistent, just competent, just showing up day after day and doing the work that needs doing. Is it enough? Most days, yes. Some days I'm still figuring it out. But tonight, sitting here with my horse and my wages and the sunset and the knowledge that I did my job well, it feels like enough. Tomorrow I'll rest. The day after, I'll start looking for the next contract. The pattern continues. The wheel turns. The Silk Road doesn't stop, and neither do the guards who protect those who travel it. I think about my mother, probably wondering why I haven't written. I think about my cousins, probably raising their children, building their lives in one place. I think about the villages and cities I've seen, the mountains I've crossed, the deserts I've survived. 7 years of this. Maybe 7 more, maybe less if my body decides otherwise. But for now, while I can still do it, while the work is there and the wages are fair and the road calls, I'll continue. This is what I know. This is what I do. I'm Tamir, a Mongol warrior turned merchant caravan guard, and I protect people and cargo across one of the longest trade routes in the known world. It's not the life I imagined as a young man, but it's honest work, and I'm good at it, and that counts for more than childhood dreams. The sun sets completely. The stars emerge. Another day ends. Another begins tomorrow. And somewhere, another merchant is forming a caravan, and they'll need guards, and the Silk Road will continue its endless flow of goods and people and stories. I stand up, brush the dust from my clothes, and lead Moon toward the caravanserai. Tomorrow is coming, and I'll be ready for it. If tonight's journey into 1275 brought back memories, or if you got stories about long watches, dangerous crossings, or just the grinding repetition of doing a job day after day until it becomes who you are, I'd be honored if you shared them in the comments below. Your generation's perspective on service, persistence, and finding meaning in routine work is irreplaceable. Those of you who pulled watch in Korea, Vietnam, or anywhere else where the job was mostly waiting and watching while being ready for everything, you know exactly what Tamir lived through. Different centuries, same essential experience. Now rest well. Close your eyes if you want. Let the desert wind and the stars and the endless rhythm of hoofbeats carry you towards sleep. Somewhere out there, 750 years ago, a guard just like you finished his watch and settled in for the night. His day is over. Yours is ending. The wheel turns, the pattern continues, and that's enough.